Hey, welcome to the After Effects channel. Today we're going to be showing you how to make slow motion videos, and it's really simple. All you're going to need is After Effects. Obviously here's After Effects all loaded up ready to show you, and a third-party plugin tool called Twixtor. Alright, let's get started. Over here in my project panel you can see I've got some HD footage, so I'm going to drag my HD footage into a new composition like so, and then that loads up. Lovely, there we go, you can see it all dragging along on the timeline nicely. And if you look over here in the top left hand corner of the project pane, you can see how many frames per second you shot your video at. And I shot mine at 23.976 frames per second because I didn't know that I was going to be showing you how to do slow motion with this video clip. But ideally you want to be shooting it at about 50 frames per second. Depending of course on your camera, you can always change your frames per second. But take it this way, the higher the frames per second, the better the slow motion effect is going to be. Okay, so let's carry on here. All you have to do now is find the point in time where you want your slow motion to kick in. I say I want mine there, right when the guy in the canoe is just going up the bank of the water there, you see. I want it to kick in around about here. So I select my footage, and I go up to Effect, go down to RE Vision Plugins, and select Twixtor Pro. Now, this is very simple, just a couple more steps and you're pretty much done. So what you need to do now is go to Input Frame Rate, and you need to change that to what your frames per second are of the footage that you shot. So mine, as I said, was 23.976. So 23.976. You need to input whatever your frame rate is into that section there. And then you need to come down to Warping and select the drop down box and change it from inverse to inversed with Smart Blend, the second option down. Okay, now we're done with this little effects control panel up here. You need to come back down to the timeline, and you need to drop this little drop down arrow here so you can see the effects tab. You need to drop down the effects tab, drop down Twixtor Pro tab, and then finally drop down output control tab. And then we're going to focus on this little section here called speed. And to select a keyframe in the point where I want my slow motion to start, I'm going to select this little stopwatch here. So that drops in a keyframe there, as you can see. And then if you come over here to the preview panel, you can skip along your footage a couple of frames, which is what you need to do. And you need to, using this button here, select another keyframe which drops it in there. Now this keyframe here is set to 100 speed, which is not done anything. It hasn't made it slower, it hasn't made it faster. But now we're going to make it slower. Now, you can use any speed, but I like to use around about 20% because it's a good slow motion effect, especially for the frames per second rate that I was using. But as I said, you can play around with it yourself and use any speed you want. Now, the problem with making it all slow is that your time on the timeline is actually going to run out because obviously your composition is only ever so long how long the clip is. So depending on what you're on, if you're on PC, you need to press Control click, or if you're on a Mac, you need to press Command K. Oh, I pressed the wrong button there. You need to press Command K, like so. Okay, now that brings up your composition settings. So if you delete the time, I like to give myself about 5 minutes time, and then that just gives you a nice long sort of amount of time space on your timeline. But then the other thing is the time of the clip itself actually doesn't extend, so you need to right click on that and you need to go to time, enable time remapping. You need to just drag out the clip so it's nice and long. Okay, so that's the time issue sorted out. But now you need to come back to your Twixtor clip, and you need to sort of decide when you want your slow motion to stop. So I want my slow motion to stop there when the guy's kind of submerged under the water. So using the button as we did earlier, you need to drop in another keyframe, and then come over here, move a couple more frames along, drop in another keyframe, and then change the speed back to 100. Like so. And that is how you make slow motion using Twixtor. So let's render that up just quickly to have a look what that looks like. And even whilst it's rendering, you can see it's going to look like a nice smooth, it's going to have that smooth look to it. And I'm running this on a 2.3 GHz quad-core processor, and it is taking some time, so don't be concerned if your computer takes a while to render it out. It's perfectly normal. Okay, we don't need to see too much more of this rendering. Let it just get past the bit where it goes back to normal speed so you can see the jump between the two. Okay, that's kind of rendered. Let's go back and let's play that through. Here we go. Slow motion. Slow motion using Twixtor in After Effects. And as I said, the higher the frames per second you use, the more perfect the slow motion is going to look. So you need to make sure that when you film something, try and film it at the highest frames per second you possibly can. Okay, thank you for watching this short tutorial on how to use Twixtor in After Effects. I hope it has helped you to understand how to use it, and there'll be a lot more tutorial videos to come. Please subscribe, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll see if I can help you guys out. Thanks for now. Bye.